arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tellurus make departure impossible at this time. Resident count is as follows. The interior can be chilly. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me. Understood. Speak of the devil.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum. You are hereby confined to your docking platform. I'm sorry, you people? Did you just... You're up to... Alright. I'm feeling generous. Anyway, wait, is that...
Transmission terminated. How can... Sending a corrupted tracking signal to the board was quite clever, if I might say, Captain.
Only slightly.
The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat.
This is a prison have for bars when it's got a storm like that garden. Gates.
They say nobody's ever broken out of the labyrinth. Didn't say nothing about breaking in, though.
We're about to find out, though. Holy crap, is this like underwater? Is that why it's called a labyrinth? Should save again, so I don't have to go down that.
Let's look around. There's gotta be a few ways through.
Are you new here? Oh, no. Don't tell anyone.
I about crushed myself. Oh, we're storming real fast.
This is what the board wants. Every worker in Halcyon is stuck in one of those chambers.
Holy crap, look at this place. Crazy, Let's do it with this guy.
Are you new here? Oh, no.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. And I see you've brought the kid along. Babysitters may be expensive, but they're worth it, you know.
Yeah, keep talking, pal. I'll just keep thinking of a place to bury your body.
Damn right.
I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing. What's the matter, girl? Couldn't find actual employment?
Right, you're a shitty
Captain's
leader.
treated me right. Better than any of you bored folk ever have. I'm exactly where I want to be.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens. I'm not in your way, you dullard. You talk to me. You want to go die?
Actually, you talked to me first, so.
Besides,
What? Okay, whatever.
well,
Yeah, see, he talked to us first. I was wrong. I was wrong. Oh my god, I'm so addicted to saving.
I don't see what the fuss is about a blasted lab coat.
You, ain't feeling jittery, are you? 'Cause I'm not.
Whatever comes of this, I'm just real close to
Captain, you've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved, you've... Do you imagine you're leading some... You're nothing but... I have no intention. I admit, I have... I'm aware of your propensity for violence. I take no pleasure in this, you know. Leaving you alive. And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Well.
No, there's no way, man. What? That wasn't supposed to happen, was it? No, we need to just chill. Getting intense. I need my backup. Oh, guys, this is so intense. So low on health. I can't do it. I'm sweating, dude. It's the hardest boss I've had to fight in a long time. Don't do it, don't do it, don't hit me, don't hit me. Serpentine, serpentine, serpentine. Guys, that was intense. Oh my god, you have no clue. Oh my god. I would have been so mad, dude. Oh, I'm so lucky. Oh, so lucky. Sweating, I tell you. Holy crap. I bet that thing has the key. A lot of free energy ammo laying around though. Take that. Ooh, ooh, beautiful. Ooh, I like that. The design and
Why won't you just
not so fast. I don't think so. Yeah. Take that. Take that. You hear my keyboard? Let me get you closer. That's what I thought.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind.
You ain't
And I
wrong.
can't begin to thank you enough. Ah, all in a day's work for you, huh? You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's... You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago, and the board's just been covering this up?
They've been incredibly effective at concealing the truth. Right now, the only people in the colony who know are standing in this room.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us? You won't hear a word of disagreement from me. When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony all by ourselves. But I was wrong.
No, I found the perfect people.
We can't save Halcyon on our own. We're all going to have to pull together, somehow. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth has been severed. I don't know if we'll survive, but we're going to have to try our best.
Interesting.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the
Wait,
grand
was that
plan.
the end?
But the stranger that arrived
Because
in
they're gonna have to have a
was
second
an
game?
unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the Borg
Yeah, this has to be the end.
many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival.
Very beautiful
Life
game.
was especially hard in the years
So don't
to come.
rush through it like I did.
Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation,
So I was recording.
but most of them found a
Ooh,
way
the
to
one
carry
town
on.
and the buildings and the
In the
interior
years
and
to come,
stuff.
Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Left unchecked, the war on Monarch consumed both MSI and the Iconoclasts.
They should
And
have
when
a second
the
one where you go
crowd
back to
settled,
Earth or something.
only stragglers from both factions remained. Some found
And
their
then
way
they
to
have their
Sunlight,
own twist of
some
like
to
Fallout.
Caribou, and some lived their final
Dude, that'd be
years fighting
nuts.
for food in the wilderness. In the end, only the beasts remained. Sublight Salvage adapted to the changes in Halcyon, shifting their business model to suit the times. Their claims of legitimacy were scrutinized, but ultimately unquestioned. Lilia Hagen would continue to protect her family as ruthlessly as ever. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the Lifetime Employment Program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be found neck-deep in cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood. While the colony fell into chaos, she found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they formed an unusual bond. She decided to remain aboard the
That's
Unreliable
really depressing because someone at work told me that
engineer.
As
hard as she tried to
she
drink
goes
them away,
with
Yoka's memories eventually overcame her.
Junel or whatever her
Traveling with
name
the
is,
crew
like they
served
get
as a
together.
constant reminder
It's really
of the
depressing.
family
So
she
how about
lost.
you let her
And so
stay
she
there with
eventually
Junel?
returned to Monarch to get back to
In your
what she
playthrough.
found most comfortable: the deep end of a
Sad.
bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers often swear they hear her and her machine gun in the night, screaming swears and spitting bullets. Before his untimely death, Captain Alex Hawthorne had plans to restore and modify, for combat purposes, a sanitation and maintenance automechanical that he'd found in a state of disrepair in Emerald Vale's scrapyard. That unit remains broken down and forgotten in the Unreliable supply closet to this day. Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. You administered the colony in your own image. With the old power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years that were to follow, and helped ensure the survival of the colony until the end of your days. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Well, guys, that was The Outer Worlds. Pretty good game. I feel like I should be giving my own ratings for games I play, but I don't know of a rating system yet. We gotta think of something kind of random for rating. So, I hear the music. The music's still loud anyway. Oh, there we go. I don't know, it's just a pretty good game. And you think of a rating system for things. So we can't really rate it, but I don't know, without a rating system, I'd probably have to give it like, of everything I've played in my entire life. Like whether it's got a good story, graphics, gameplay, feel. I feel like I got annoyed and I really hated the one planet and stuff. And the story's kinda like some of the mission parts, you had to do so many different side quests. I'm gonna have to give it a 7 probably. I don't know. Maybe it should get higher, but very beautiful. Some of the buildings, the interior. I say it just about every time I see something nice, I'm like, oh, that's pretty. But yeah. Good game. Get it? I recommend it. Go through and explore a lot more than I did for the recording's sake. You probably won't regret it. As always, see you guys in game. King Caliber signing out.